What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's 1% Will. Today's video, we're going to go over the 3 most important New Year's resolutions and habits for any Gen Zer that wants to get ahead in 2026. First habit out of the 3 that you need to adopt if you want to get ahead is, surprisingly, reading. Reading actual books, not scrolling on your phone, not reading the words, the subtitles on TikTok videos, actually reading. So much of our generation does not read it anymore. In fact, most Americans don't read a single book a year, not even a freaking Magic Treehouse or Harry Potter, no books a year. And this is terrible because reading is one of the best way to learn new things. It literally creates new pathways within your brain as your brain is learning and connecting new ideas. And it's super important, especially today with all the distractions like TikTok that I mentioned, because actually being able to sit down for 10, 15, 20, however many minutes with a book and read helps you build a deep work mindset so that when you want to get things done, you can sit down, eliminate your distractions, turn off the YouTube video in the background, your music, and just work and get things done. And this is all possible because you train your brain with reading. And what's important is that you have to build this discipline and this skill of being able to get into that deep work and read. I just started last year with my 2025 resolution was to read more, and I did so by easing into it and making it fun for me to start. So I actually reread the entire Harry Potter series that I hadn't finished from when I was a kid, and that made reading fun for me. And then eventually I mixed in nonfiction books or self-help books that helped me learn new things and grow as a person, but I kept reading fun. And I think that's what's important. If you want to get into reading, you want to build a habit, you have to make it more desirable than TikTok or YouTube or other distractions. So start with fun books and then move into more nonfiction and books that will help you with that learning and help you grow. The second habit that is super important for all Gen Z in 2026 is exercise or working out of any form. The quote from Socrates goes, "It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable." And that's so true. You only have one body. You're living it your entire life. It is you. You need to take care of your body because without your body, there is no you. And it's very important to stay healthy, not just to live long, but also to live a happy and life where you can actually do things instead of being a vegetable or a literal couch potato. If you've ever read the book Outlive, that was one of my books I read last year. And the whole book is about living longer, living better, so you can be more mobile, be more active throughout your life instead of, hitting 65 and then retiring and then dying at 70 because you were already so worn down from working and your whole life. And so this book says that not even diet, not genes, not, medicine, none of that is as important as exercise. If you can build a good exercise routine, some kind of cardio, some kind of resistance training like weights, that is the single most important habit you can have for your health. It creates better outcomes than any other thing you can do for your body. So please, 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 if you're not working out, if you don't have a routine, start it this year. And this is a lifelong habit. If you haven't started it, make this year the year to start and then keep it up your whole life. And just with reading, exercise is important to build discipline. And as you're working out, you'll be proud of the gains you're seeing. If your mile time gets faster, if you can lift more weight. And as you become proud of what you've built with your own body, that'll transfer over into other facets of life. I know I have since I started taking exercise seriously in high school. I'm very proud of, my physique or my accomplishments or strength, and that filters over to other facets of my life. I don't think there's many, fit people who also don't take care of other parts of their life. So it's really a domino effect once you get everything going. So 2026, start working out or push even harder, set more fitness goals and crush them. Now, the third final habit that all Gen Z need to adopt in 2026, this might seem a little different, but I think it's really most important. It is to create a budget and a financial plan. We all know the economy is pretty shit right now. We're in what some might call a vibe session, but you have to remember that your life comes from you, not at you. Of course, the macroeconomic environment in the US, in the world, is not the best right now. But as individuals, there's not much we can do about that. So really, you have to focus on what you can do. You're the only person that can control your actions. You can't control your environment for now. So take action and just do your best. Seriously, it's as easy as just looking over your expenses. You'll find some things like, oh, I didn't realize I was still paying for my Fortnite cruise subscription, or other silly things that you can cut out of your expenses, or just realize you don't need to be spending $300 a month on DoorDash. You can just go pick up the food, avoid the delivery, or cook it yourself. and just find that budget. I think you should really download a budget app. There's plenty of free options that work really well. I even pay for YNAB because it's an app called YNAB. You need a budget because even though you're paying for it, the money you save using it far outweighs the cost of actually subscribing to use the premium version. And then once your budget's in place, start taking the next step. Start saving, start investing towards your future, and even plan out your entire 2026. I know a lot of my New Year's resolutions and goals were writing down milestones like max out my Roth IRA or hit a certain net worth by the end of the year. So having these long-term goals really puts everything into perspective and then reminds you what you're doing this for. Like every time you skip out on a sweet treat or going for a Dunkin' run, you're reminded why, because you're getting one step closer towards your goal. So just keep building out towards years in the future. If you ever, I know Gen Z is young and the economy's shit, but if you ever want to have the chance of owning a home, raising children, this is what you need to do. These are the steps you can take right now so that years down the line, you can look back and say, hey, I'm glad I took the time in 2026 to really dial in, set some habits, meet my goals to make the whole rest of my life better. If you've enjoyed any of this content, please like and subscribe. If you agree with these 3 resolutions, drop me a comment. If you disagree, let me know what should the actual resolutions be for Gen Z. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.